If Gardner Minshew goes into Dallas and beats them on Christmas Eve, that would be the most epic thing ever, especially after the excuse all season why the Cowboys lost to the Eagles was we beat their backup quarterback. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing. Hope you're hanging in there. So it is official. Gardner Minshew will start Christmas Eve versus the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts did everything in his power to play. It just didn't work out. And that's okay, because I believe the Eagles, along with all their Pro Bowlers, and especially all the guys that got snubbed out of the Pro Bowl, along with Gardner Minshew, will go into Dallas and beat them. And it will be the most epic thing ever. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe, because we are the most throttled, most censored Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I love you. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's jump right into this. It is official. Jalen Hurts is out. Nick Sirianni, his last press conference before the Eagles game, he said that he wasn't going to play. This is what Nick Sirianni said. He says, it's looking like it's going to be Gardner. Sirianni said Thursday morning. He said, Jalen did everything he possibly could to get his body ready to go. At the end of the day, he's not going to be able to do it. He tried like crazy. I know he still wants to go. Jalen Hurts is the toughest I've ever been around. My brother and I talked last night, and he's like, man, how did he play through that? He did that to his shoulder. How did he throw any of those passes after that? There's no question. Jalen Hurts is tough. He is one tough dude, man, and you gotta respect him. And it sounds like if there's a situation where, let's say, the Eagles were to lose this game, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's say that it does. It sounds like Jalen Hurts is going to wind up starting the following week versus the New Orleans Saints. And at that point, like I've said many, many times, it's checkmate. Remember, I have to always say this because we get lost in the moment, we get lost in the game, the fact that it's the Dallas Cowboys. But the truth of the matter is this. The bottom line, you need one out of the next three to get the job done. To clinch home field, to clinch the division, and to be able to have that bye week, which obviously, with Jalen Hurts maybe having a hurt shoulder, is going to be hugely important. Now, the goal is to get it done Saturday night. Get it done Saturday night. You have 2 games to screw around with, or, and when I say that, I don't mean like mess up. I mean in terms of figuring out who you want to start, who you want to rest, and how that goes. We got to beat the Saints too, by the way. The Saints got Cleveland this week, I think, in Cleveland. Then they got the Eagles. That pick can go from 9 all the way to 4 or 5. So we got to make sure that we take care of the New Orleans Saints too when the time comes. But I look at this like this. If Jalen Hurts was not 100%, there's no need to risk him. Look, I hate Dallas. You know I hate Dallas. I hate that team. I think they got a satanic star on their helmet. That's what it is. That's what it is. And then I think they go around sacrificing, killing chickens. Why do you think Mark Holmes is always eating chicken wings? They're sacrificing them chickens, man. It's blood sacrifices. That's why they always choke at the end, because the light will always shine through. God will always come through over Satan. But it's the way it is, okay? And I think the Dallas Cowboys, I think the Eagles can beat them. I think they can go into Dallas and win. And one of the things I said yesterday, I'm going to say it again. If the Eagles lose to Dallas this weekend, you're not going to hear me go, well, you beat our backup quarterback. You beat our backup quarterback. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say, congratulations, you won. I hate this team. I hate your team. But you know what? You won the battle. We won a battle. Let's see if you can come and meet us one more time. We'll see if they can get as far as the Eagles are going to be. But there's no excuses. There are none. We're not going to say, oh, you just beat our backup. But it is funny to me. I mean, this thing could be like epic. Can you imagine? I mean, leading up to the Eagles-Cowboys, the first game, right? All we heard was hey, listen, Dak Prescott was the reason why we lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now we got this guy Cooper Rush, and this guy Cooper Rush is 5-0, and he is the future, and we should trade Dak Prescott. I'm actually defending Dak Prescott against people, Cowboy fans wanting Cooper Rush. So Cooper Rush is going to do all this. He's going to beat us. Comes in to Philly, gets crushed, throws like 3 interceptions. Then all of a sudden is, oh, well, you just beat our backup. We didn't have Dak. Oh, you mean the Dak that you didn't want last week, but now you want him again. All right, and listen, Dak is a good quarterback. I have no qualms about saying that. But Dak has also played, 7 years and only has 1 playoff win. I think he has to be able to put his team on his back when need be. So, to me, we got to judge Dak. You really judge Dak by the playoffs. What is he going to do when he gets his team to the playoffs? I need to see him in the playoffs win games. But it ain't going to happen this year. All right? I am not giving no excuses. But the fact that the Cowboy fans have been for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks telling us that the Eagles beat their backup quarterback is ironic. Because if the Eagles do what I believe they're going to do on Saturday, and we'll do the preview prediction video probably most likely tomorrow, but because we have Philly Shakedown tonight, so we got Philly Shakedown. But if the Eagles go in and beat the Cowboys with their backup, that is like the ultimate insult. That is the ultimate slap in the face, because that's the excuse they used, and we just turned their excuse for their first loss on their head. What can they say after that? All they can say is, nice game, you beat us, and maybe we'll get you a third time. Good luck for that. But I think the Eagles are going to go in and win. I do. And I also think this. I think because Jalen Hurts is out, I think sometimes Steichen and even Nick Sirianni, they get comfortable having Jalen Hurts. They have the luxury of his legs and all the things he can do. And sometimes they get away from their game plan. I expect them to be pretty strict with the game plan this week. I think you'll see Minshew a lot more under center. I think they'll run the ball and use Miles Sanders a lot more. And if Minshew goes out, doesn't turn over the ball, we can protect him. He's gonna carve the Dallas Cowboys up. I think the Eagles will win, and like I said, I'll give you a prediction score in my preview prediction video. But I have all the faith that Gardner Minshew can go in and win one game. And like I said yesterday, this is big time for him. This is his chance. If he goes out and balls out and clinches, do you know how good that's going to be for him when he's a free agent next year and he's going to go and try to find a team to maybe be a starter? This is his chance. Right now is his shot. He's got to take full advantage of it. So I feel really good about this game. I feel confident. I think if the Eagles would have beat the Bears, let's say 42-3 or something like that, I would be a little more worried about this game. But because they didn't play good, I expect them to be a lot more on it, especially now that you don't have your star quarterback, your MVP. And like I said, in a freak scenario in which the Dallas Cowboys somehow win this game, I think Jalen Hurts plays against New Orleans. You only need to win one of the last 3. We have to keep it in perspective. But it would be wonderful to clinch in Dallas. I just think it would be absolutely amazing and so ironic if the Eagles beat them with their backup quarterback, And I got to thank everybody, one more thing. I got to thank everybody for last night because I was pissed off last night. Like, I'm not joking. Like, that whole Pro Bowl thing fired me up. And I don't even really care about the Pro Bowl. I just care because I feel like when you put the Eagles helmet on, you're always going to get disrespected. Nationally, you're always going to. I just can't believe Bradbury is not in the Pro Bowl. Now you'll say, well, he made it I don't count alternates as Pro Bowlers. You got to make that roster. An alternate means you're waiting. You're waiting, okay? I just couldn't believe it. But I got that out. I had to get that out of my system. If you haven't seen that rant, you could go watch it. But I was not happy about the Pro Bowl, even though we had 8. Because here's what I feel like. I feel like this. I feel like the league says, well, we have to make sure the Eagles have the most Pro Bowlers because of the record. But we're only going to make sure they have one more player than everybody else because we don't want to give them that much credit. And that's what they did. It's like, and it's like, here, have some crumbs and scraps, Eagle fans. Here you go. You have 8. One more player than everybody else. Here's one more player than everybody else. Take your scraps and be happy. It's like, no. I want it all. I want the meal. I want the giant steak with medium rare in the middle. I want to cut that mother humper up. I want to eat it. Dude, I want that meat. Pause. That's a big pause. Because I said I want that meat. Didn't mean it like that. I meant food. But that's how I feel. I feel like they're throwing us a bone. Like, oh, here's 8 players. One more than like the Dallas Cowboys and other teams. But, we're only 13-1. Right? And these guys that we're talking about deserve to be in. You just do. So I feel a lot better now. I definitely do. And it looks like Pascal's practicing too, by the way. So that's a good sign for him to be able to go. Listen, I believe this team. I believe the Eagles. I believe in his coaching staff. I believe in Gardner Minshew. I believe the players around Gardner Minshew are going to go in and they're going to get the W this week versus the Dallas Cowboys. And the funny thing will be, what is the excuse the Cowboys are going to have? That's the $1 million question. If the Eagles win, what will be the excuse? Here's my prediction. Yeah, here's what they'll say. They'll say, yeah, Gardner Minshew beat us, but Jalen Hurts never beat Dak Prescott. That'll be their excuse. But Jalen Hurts never beat Dak Prescott. Yeah, but our backup just did. Why wouldn't Jalen Hurts? Watch. That'll be the excuse. I'm betting it. We're going to have to take a poll. We're going to have to do a poll and ask, what will their excuse be when we double moonwalk that ass? With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So I'm seeing right now that everybody's saying that Jalen Hurts being out is now put Mahomes back in the MVP running. So he misses one game and he loses his chance, right? Hasn't my Patrick Mahomes, hasn't he stumbled quite a few games this year? Yet Jalen Hurts is going to miss one game and they're ready to rip his MVP off. It's absolutely so ridiculous that this always happens to us. I'm sorry. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. The guy's the MVP. The guy deserves it. And missing this game or even the next two, it don't matter. It don't matter to me. Jalen Hurts is the MVP. Denzel Washington, out.